This just made best burgers in New York City by the New York Times.
It is really good.
And it was never the goal. Like we put on a burger because it was like almost something that we knew we had to put on for the masses, right? For lunch specifically. People know what a burger is, so we did our own version, and now it's become like this amazing burger. No, lo hacemos en Spanglish.
Es que así hablo yo anyway. Okay. Woo. Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Créete tu Cuento podcast. This is one of the few Spanglish, Spanglish siempre, pero fully English episode that you're gonna see or you're gonna hear. I love my accent, so please don't mind. Today I have Chef Erik Ramírez aquí con nosotros en Llama San. This series is called Eatable Conversations because, as you know, or maybe you don't know, but that's fine, you're gonna know now, I have a creative agency called Eatable Content. So I've been interviewing and talking since 2023 in the podcast, and then I realized I haven't talked to anybody, any of the chefs, any of the people that I met in this industry in the podcast. So why not, colliding or like mixing those two words together? So today I'm so happy to be talking to you and thank you for accepting the invitation. I love your food and I enjoy, your personality, your essence as a human being. In the podcast, as I was telling you off the camera, I interview entrepreneurs, creators of any type of concept. And in this series, it's going to be mostly in the hospitality industry. So I want to know your story, like how everything started, not just the nice stories and all the success that yes we're gonna go there, but also like we want to know also the struggles, maybe the challenges that people don't really tell in public. So welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes.
Really excited to do this.
Yeah. So maybe the first question is gonna be more like conversational style. So don't worry if you're gonna speak too much. We have a lot of time. But maybe the first question is, like how you started this, like how you entered to this world of cooking.
Okay, so I think it all stems from childhood. My parents migrated from Peru, first generation American, and it always been surrounded by food and flavors, and like a lot of everything was around the table. Everything's super familial and around the table, and I think that had an impact on me when I became older. At like a certain point in my life, I needed to decide what I was going to do. So I kind of went the culinary route. I think a big influence was my uncle as well. My uncle isn't like a professional chef, but he really enjoyed cooking and he made it really fun. And he lived in Grand Isle, Louisiana, which is this little island in Louisiana, very like bayou, very Creole. So he had that element of cooking along with like the Peruvian element. And I would go visit him in summers, and I think that also kind of influenced me to choose like the whole like culinary path. My mom, my grandmother, it was a little bit of everybody in my life, as growing up. Yeah, so I was like, late teens, early 20s. My mom was like, you need to figure out what you're going to do. You can't stay around here. You're going to get in trouble.
It's so crazy that they tell you to choose a path when you're so young and you have no idea what the heck you want to do with your life. But anyway, we choose a path.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to explore the whole culinary thing. Found a good program in Philadelphia, at the Art Institute of Philadelphia. It was super affordable. I had friends that moved there, that lived there. So it just kind of made sense to me at the time. I was like 19, and I thought it would be a good opportunity to leave home and kind of explore a new city and kind of just be on my own. So I went and did that. I started cooking in Philly. I was there for like 5 years.
Oh wow.
So I went to school, but I ended up I stopped going to school. I dropped out of school.
Okay. So you were like what, 18, 19?
I was like 19, 20.
Okay.
Maybe 19, 20, 21, around in that. Yeah,
Okay.
like 20.
Okay.
And I don't know. I think it was like maybe like 6 months in, I stopped going to school and just kind of started working.
Mm-hmm.
I had to pay for school and like working a lot and trying to keep up with school. It just became a little overwhelming.
Yes.
A little too much partying. So I was like, you know what? I stopped going to school, and then it kind of just got into a really good restaurant. And it's funny because at that time, I got into a really good place, not knowing how good that place was at that time in Philadelphia, until realizing, like, you know, when I would tell people I work here, they'd be like, wow, you work there? That's such a great restaurant, highly regarded in the city. So I ended up staying there for like 3 years, and I kind of really developed there and grew a passion for cooking, and
Nice.
and it really impacted me. And then just worked in the other couple restaurants in Philadelphia, like a lot of like French American fine dining style restaurants. And yeah, and then my girlfriend at the time, she worked in the fashion world. Living in Philly, she ended up moving to New York, and I was like, you know what? Let's go to New York.
Let's go.
So I moved to New York, and I continued the same trajectory, you know, working fine dining, French, American, a little bit of Italian. The most notable place would be 11 Madison Park. I was there for 3 years as a sous chef. So continued that. And then I ended up leaving EMP. I probably was in my early 30s trying to figure out what I was going to do next. And then a friend connected me to another friend and was like, hey, you should go check out this restaurant. It's Nuevo Latino. It's going to be a Douglas Rodriguez restaurant. I was a little skeptical. I was like, I really haven't cooked that style of food. I don't know too much about it. But, you know, I went to go talk to the chef, and I really ended up clicking with him, vibing with him really well. And I thought I can learn a lot from him. So I ended up taking the job. We're still friends to this day. The only reason I took the job is because of him.
Yeah.
You know, I really thought he really seemed like a great guy, you know, and just an easy person to work with. He actually has a bunch of businesses in the theater district.
Okay.
His name's Adam Shaw.
Nice.
So yeah, we did this place called Nuevo Latino. Kind of cheesy name. The design wasn't that nice. Like
Okay.
a fashion designer, a Venezuelan fashion designer did it.
Really?
Angel Sanchez?
Angel Sanchez. No me suena ahorita, pero I'm gonna look him up.
Yeah, I think that was his name. He was a
Okay.
fashion designer, maybe from Venezuela. He designed the restaurant. The restaurant did really, really bad.
Okay.
And then,
Where was it?
It was in the Flatiron on 24th between 5th and 6th.
Like Nomad?
No, Flatiron.
Nah, Flatiron.
Right, like down the street from the
Yeah.
Madison Square Park. Yeah.
Madison Square Park, yeah.
Or Madison Park.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the whole Nuevo Latino thing, and I was like, you know what, this isn't really working out. I was gonna move to San Francisco to cook,
Okay.
but the owners of Nuela were this Colombian family, and they were like, look, let's close it and let's open a Peruvian restaurant. And I was like, the only Peruvian food that I know is the food that
Your
I grew up eating.
mom's food,
And
yeah.
that's it, you know. And like when we would go visit my grandmother in Peru, we'd go like every summer once a year, and it was just like her home cooking and like, you know, the little huariques, like the smaller restaurants, you know, and like the very like criollo kind of like neighborhood food and the little carts. Like that's all I really knew. At that time I did not have, like, I didn't see Peruvian food as a food that I wanted to cook professionally.
Okay.
Right. I didn't understand its potential at that time. I thought like, ooh, French and American and the fine dining.
As it used to be, no? Like now it's more.
Yeah, you know, so it's like that's kind of what I wanted to do. That's at least what I thought I wanted to do. And he was like, look, let's close it. Let's reopen it as a Peruvian restaurant. I gave it a lot of thought. He just kept pushing. He's like, it's in you. You can do it. You know, you should try it.
So that's when you opened this place.
That's when I opened Ryming.
Ah, wait. I'm
Yeah,
following.
that was Ryming.
Yeah.
Right, in the Flatiron. It was so we partnered up with Richard Sandoval, which was a Mexican chef.
Yes.
Has multiple restaurants in the
Yes.
United States, and we brought on a consulting chef named Jaime Pesake from Maita.
Claro.
And that's how I developed a really great relationship with Jaime. You know, he's one of the better chefs in Peru right now, 50 best list. He was like the consultant to come over. And that's kind of like my foundation. That's kind of like where I got the basis of like, you know, cooking Peruvian food, you know? So him and I worked together in Peru to put together the menu, right? Like it was like his understanding of Peruvian cuisine at like a higher level, right? And like my experience of working in New York and like my technical, you know, like you know, like the technical style of cooking that I learned, and you know, the experiences of like, you know, working.
It was like a great combination.
Yeah, so we kind of put it together, and that's how Raimi started.
You know, I went there for my birthday once.
Did you?
In 2015.
Wow.
I don't know when that was open, but that was actually my first birthday here in the US. And I went there to celebrate. It's so crazy.
Crazy. So 2015, I was opening Llama Inn already.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So I did Raimi for a couple of years. I ended up becoming the executive chef. I kind of just helped get it going, you know. I ended up becoming the executive chef, and that's kind of where I learned a lot of like my base of like Peruvian cooking. I was really fortunate enough to have a lot of the people that worked there Peruvian. So I learned a lot from everybody, you know. Like,
I love that.
I would keep trying different recipes and be like, taste that. They're like, no, it's kind of off. You need a little bit more this, a little bit more that. Keep making it. And that's kind of how I developed that flavor profile.
Wow.
You know, I mean, the flavor profile was like embedded in me because it's the food that I grew up eating.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like it's just my mom was a pretty good cook. You know, my uncle's a pretty good cook. My grandmothers were both pretty good. You know, my grandmother on my dad's side, who lived in Peru, she was an exceptional cook.
Wow.
I remember always we would stay for like a month during the summer when it's in like the summer in Peru, and she would just cook like every single day. You know, she had a little help, like so, you know, the lady that would help her cook and stuff. It was
Are you from Lima?
Yeah, my parents are from Lima.
From Lima.
Yeah, my mom from Miraflores and my dad from San Borja.
Okay.
Yeah, so did that. 2 years later, you know, everything was going great.
Okay.
And then I had the opportunity. Oh, well, you know what? So I think I missed an important part before I did the whole Raimi thing, right? So I was trying to like figure out what I wanted to do. If I wanted to do the whole Raimi Peruvian thing, or just or move to San Francisco and continue like that fine dining.
You had like
French.
an opportunity over there?
Yeah, well, my girlfriend at the time moved to San Francisco.
Okay.
She got a great job working for North Face, doing like an outerwear exclusive like brand that was like tied to like the Japan North Face, something like that. It was years ago. So I was like, look, there's great restaurants out there. I had like a list of ones that I wanted to check out. But I ended up getting convinced by, you know, Armin Torres, who is the owner of Ryan. He was like, go to Peru and check it out. So I went to Peru. I went for a couple of weeks.
Okay.
And I think that is the trip that really kind of was like, okay, this...
Like connected you with your...
Well, you know, like I was always connected to my roots because we'd go visit regularly once a year. But I went to Peru with more of like a professional culinary lens, you know, and like was introduced to these high level restaurants that I did not know existed. And that's kind of where it clicked for me, right? Like being exposed to a lot of ingredients that I've never seen before and flavors that I've never had, and the high level cooking that they were doing, right? It wasn't the food that I knew, right? It was like food that you would find here, but using Peruvian ingredients.
Yeah.
You know, and that's kind of was like, for me, I was like, okay, well, this is
possible.
I understand this, right? It's like applying like my experience, but using Peruvian ingredients, or like, you know, like traditional dishes and kind of exploring how to,
with different techniques from
how to expand that dish and present it in different ways that's a little more creative, you know? So that trip is what kind of really like was like, okay, there's something here that I mean, there was always something there, but I just didn't know that it existed, you know? And I was just like, fuck, like this is it.
Wow.
So came back, did Raimi. Everything went really well.
How long were you there?
For about 2 years.
In Peru?
No, in Raimi. In Peru at that time.
Some weeks?
Yeah, I went a couple weeks and then I went back for like a month or two.
Okay.
To start developing the menu for Raimi.
Okay.
And then 2 years later, I got the opportunity.
Mira, pero vamos a comer esto.
Sí, come.
let's take a quick explanation break. So again, Eatable Conversations, we're gonna be like trying the chef's creations. Explain it.
Okay, so this is the tuna gunkan.
Uh-huh.
So this
Or where would you start? I think this one.
yeah, this one's good.
Yeah.
This is so this is the only item, the eel pizza that is on the
show
dinner
it in the
menu.
camera.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the eel pizza. That's been on the menu since day one, and you find that on lunch and dinner. But
Yeah.
a lot of our food, we're at lunchtime right now, so a lot of the food is geared towards the lunch crowd. So this is, so what we like for lunch specifically, we want to offer things that are like understandable, like approachable, right? Like that people understand. So it's not, they're not like intimidated by it.
Yeah.
All right. So this is like the spicy tuna gunkan, right?
Right.
Like everybody knows what spicy
And
tuna
it's like,
tartare
yeah, the
is.
crispy rice.
Yeah, so it's spicy tuna tartare on top, crispy sushi rice underneath, and you just take a bite.
Boom.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I love it.
With a little avocado. No traen
¿Tiene
servilletas.
wasabi? ¿No?
Spicy. Tiene sriracha.
Oh,
Hagamos todas.
ya. Esto es así. Wow, qué buen start.
Está rico.
Ok, so siguiendo con el cuento.
Okay, so
You came back from Peru after a couple of weeks to develop the menu.
yeah, so then did Rhyme and was there for 2 years. I think that's kind of where I learned, like, no, that is exactly where I learned the base of like my cooking, right? That at Rhyme it was a lot of traditional dishes that I focused on, not applying the technique or like presentation, just really honing in on like the understanding of like the understanding of how to make a seco or a ají de gallina or like a good lomo, a good arroz con mariscos. All the salsitas, you know, huancaíno, copa, una crema de rocoto, you know, just kind of like the more popular style food, right? Some regional, but regional cooking I think is difficult because it's hard to get certain ingredients. So kind of that was my foundation, and then I had the opportunity to open Llama Inn.
And that was in 2015.
That was in 2015. Yeah. And that really just propelled my career. You know, Llama Inn was the next phase of my cooking, right? Remy was like
The beginning.
the beginning was like the learning, you know, like the education, the understanding of what it is, where it comes from, the cultural influences, the biodiversity, you know, the essence of what it was. Llama Inn was transforming it and making it my own, right? Applying where I was, right? Applying New York City to it, you know, like my experience of cooking at all these different high-level restaurants, the freedom of interpretation, the culture, the art, you know, what really represented New York, you know, all the influences, you know, I mean, like modern American cooking in New York is like, it can be a lot of different things. You know? It can be pulled from Venezuela, Colombia, you know, Southeast Asian, you know, like different, right? Because of all the cultural influences in New York, it's a melting pot, you know? So it was like taking that plus like the seasons, you know, because like cooking Peruvian food is really, it's not difficult, but it's hard to kind of expand out of what you typically find, right? You see a lot of ceviches con ají amarillo, rocoto, causas, pulpa al olivo, arroz con mariscos. Like you see the bases a lot in Peruvian restaurants. To kind of grow out of that can be challenging, right? Because you're not exposed, or you just don't have all these ingredients to be able to do that, right? So you kind of have to create within a box.
With whatever is available here.
Yeah, you have to create, if you're doing like traditional Peruvian food or like a modern interpretation, but you still have to create within a box because you're your list of ingredients is not expansive,
Yeah.
right? So the angle was to kind of bring in what I've learned and, you know, the bounty of what the seasons here and what New York has to offer, and kind of combine that.
Okay.
You know, so, and that's what kind of, that was like the edge that we had at Llama Inn, right? That I think Llama Inn was the first restaurant in New York City to kind of explore Peruvian food outside of what
It already
outside
people
of like,
are used to it.
yeah, you know, so it
The
kind of,
traditional. Yeah.
you know, so it really, and it did exactly that, right? The angle was to introduce something that like is accessible, right? Something that people understand, while like giving like
Something new.
while giving something new, right?
Yeah.
It's like almost like a beets and goat cheese salad,
Right.
but our beets and goat cheese salad had like a muña pesto, which is like a mint
Okay.
from the Andes.
Yeah.
We put aguaimanto with it, which is a fruit, right? Because you can see like beets and berries and goat cheese,
Yeah.
a common.
But you never seen aguaimanto and goat cheese, for example.
Exactly, you know, or like we did a version of arroz con pato, but we made duck sausage, right? So it's like
You
almost
know
like,
what I love? The lomo saltado with the pancakes.
exactly,
That's so cool. And
Exactly, you
The
know?
dish was so flavorful.
yeah,
Like making your own like como taquitos.
exactly.
It's so good.
You know, and it's like I'm glad you said flavorful because that was always the goal. Like everything needed to taste good, right? Because
Yeah.
Peruvian food is just impactful. It's just it tastes amazing, right?
Yeah.
And like I think that's what Llama Inn had, right? Llama Inn had the creativity, you know, the playfulness and the flavor because everything tasted really good.
Yeah.
You know, like
100%.
we had a ceviche with dashi and bananas and plantains.
Yeah, the plant that I
Yeah, you don't typically see that.
Yeah.
You know, I think we introduced using a lot of fruit in our ceviches. We introduced in like basically blending everything that we can think of in our leche de tigres. You know, like a good example, lomo saltado, right? Everybody knows lomo saltado, but we served it in a way where it's very relatable to like making a taco.
Yeah. And
Right?
everybody knows how that
Exactly.
works.
Everybody knows what a taco is.
Yeah.
Right? So it was like the angle was to like put Peruvian food on another platform and make it more have more reach. Right? So do a restaurant that's more like kind of like, you know, more for like the young foodies, the young professionals,
Yeah.
hipsters, kind of like,
Especially it was in Williamsburg, so
yeah, you know, play like different music, you know, a little
Yeah.
hip hop,
yeah.
you know, have like a really cool vibe, have it like cool design, you
the
know.
art, you know,
The-
the
yeah.
lamps, everything.
You know, it was like not your typical Peruvian restaurant. We definitely worked outside of the box. We created outside of the box. And, you know, like, I think we were one of the first restaurants to do anticuchos in the way that we did them, you know, little skewers,
Yeah.
you know, and like, I think Llama Inn really kind of like was one of a kind at the time when it opened,
Yeah.
you know, and I think that's what really kind of stood us apart from like, you know, like not only Peruvian restaurants, but like all the
All
other
other
restaurants.
restaurants.
Because you couldn't really find anything like that in New York at that
Yep.
time. So, and it did great. 2
Yeah.
stars New York Times, made every single list, you know. I got nominated like 5 times for like Best Chef New York from the James Beard because of Llama Inn. Got nominated once for Best Chef North America. I mean, Best Chef North America. Peruvian chef, Best Chef North America. Not typical, not something that usually happens because of Llama Inn. You know, Llama Inn was the catalyst for everything else that came after that. You know, which was Llama San, Llama Inn in Madrid,
The other
Llama
ones.
Inn in London. You know, we had a little sandwich shop called Llamita on Carmine, but it closed during COVID.
Okay.
You know, and it just, you know, it just did great.
That's
And that's kind of like how, you know, that was like the progression.
Yeah.
You know, and then, you know, and it's funny because I started a tasting menu on the counter, and that's like I had my first tasting menu called Bad and Bougie, which was like a little more elevated, you
Yeah.
know, a little more technical.
and it's super New York slang, and you know,
Yeah.
it's like
Exactly.
it's
You
like
know?
a combination of your worlds
Yeah,
as well.
Exactly, because it was like I cooked for everybody, but I also cooked to like hit like a demographic or like a group of people that don't know what Peruvian food is.
Yes.
Right? So it brings more awareness.
Yeah.
Right? It gives us a bigger platform to reach more people.
Yeah.
Right? To make Peruvian food cool. Not that it wasn't cool,
Yeah.
You know, I've always thought it was amazing and cool because of what it was, you know, like what it represented, you know, like the history, the cultural influences, the you know, like the biodiversity, you know, like the Chinese, Japanese, African, indigenous.
Yeah, but I don't think it was
Spanish.
represented well here
You
in
know?
New York, at least.
No,
Maybe it was in Peru.
Yeah.
Because we already know all the great chefs that
Yep.
have done amazing things in Peru, but not here in New York. So I think you've been like the pioneer.
Yeah, you know, and
Really?
like nobody had a night, nobody knew.
Yeah.
Right, and it's just like, not to mention the cultural influences is you have coast, sierra, forest, rainforest, desert. There's no other country that has all these like, you know, climates and living zones, you know, where you just have all these amazing ingredients.
Yeah.
So it's just like, how can we, in a way,
Introduce it.
explore that while keeping it familiar, you know, so it's not intimidating, it's welcoming, and it's like, it piques interest, you know, like, ooh, but at the same time, like, ooh, I don't want to eat that because I have no fucking idea what it is.
Right.
You know, people shy away from things that are not familiar.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, I
I think you were the bridge from this to this culture, and you're like, here, try these ingredients.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I love that.
yeah, it did great. So, started the tasting. We did Bad and Bougie first, which was really cool.
How many courses or how?
Good question. I think it was like maybe, I want to say like 9-10 courses.
Okay.
And I used to do it all by myself.
Oh my God.
We only did it on Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Okay.
I think it was 1 seating or 2 seatings. And I would come in early and I would do everything for the tasting.
Oh wow.
Right? From like amuse-bouche to petit fours to dessert to all the savory, the cold, like the ceviches, just like everything by myself. It was a lot of fucking work. But I did 2. I did Bad and Bougie and I did Mr. Roboto.
Okay.
Mr. Roboto was the Nikkei version.
Okay.
And that's kind of how I started exploring a little bit
on the
of the
Nikkei
Nikkei.
world. Okay. Which
And,
is, I feel like it's your staple or kind of what you're known for. At least Papa San is like, it's Nikkei, right?
yeah, Papa San is Nikkei.
Yeah.
It's interesting you say that.
Is it or not?
That's
That's
because
how I
didn't
see you.
Well, see, probably a lot of people see it
Yeah.
that way, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that I'm known for the Nikkei,
Okay.
but if that's my evolution and that's kind of what people think now,
You're happy with that?
I'm fine with that as
Okay,
well.
love
you
it.
know, because Llama Inn was like what started it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then like went into like the whole Nikkei world and opened Llama San. Llama San did great. Like something about me is like, you know, it's like an exploration of identity, right? It's like, you know, I grew up here, right? And I was exposed to a lot of different restaurants. So that's part of my identity. I grew up in a Peruvian household, would regularly visit Peru. Both of my parents were Peruvian. That's my identity. You know, my grandmother is half Japanese.
Oh wow.
You know, so it's just like you know, a progression, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's an element of who I am, you know, so it's like I'm gonna explore that, you know, and I explored that with Papa San. And that's a crazy story, like my grandmother's story. It's like her father migrated to Peru from Japan.
Oops. There's like a hole here.
Is
Sorry.
there? Migrated.
Oh, it's a chair. It's fine.
Migrated from Japan, had like an illegal marriage to like my great grandmother and had my grandmother and my great aunt, but then had to go back to Japan to marry that other family.
Oh.
It's like a crazy thing, right?
Okay.
And I have like newfound cousins because I did a show called Taste the Nation with Padma
And they
Lakshmi.
found you?
And they found me through the show because my grandmother and my mom were on the show because we were talking about my history. And there was a lady that was like, that is like my half sister from Peru.
Oh,
And
wow.
her daughters reached out to me through Instagram. And now I have 2 cousins. One lives here, one lives in California.
Oh, California. Okay.
From that part of the family.
Wow.
The arranged marriage. I think it was an arranged marriage that he had. Like the marriage that he had to my great grandmother was not prohibited. It was like it wasn't allowed. It wasn't allowed.
Because it was like another religion, culture.
It wasn't. They weren't Japanese.
Okay.
So that's an interesting story. But yeah, so it's like my mom is the one that I think is super representative of like Peru, like what Peru is, right? Like her mom is half Peruvian, half Japanese, and her father is 100% Italian.
Wow.
But he grew up in Peru. To Italian, my great grandparents migrated from Peru migrated from Italy
Oh my
to
God.
Peru. Had my grandfather,
Okay.
which is my mom's dad.
That.
So blonde hair, blue eyes, spoke fluent Italian, but also very Peruvian,
Okay.
very like criollo, you know. So when my parents moved here, my great grandmother moved with them,
Okay.
and I spoke fluent Italian till I was like 10 years old.
Oh wow.
So I spoke fluent Italian, obviously Spanish, and then English because of school.
And what happened with your Italian?
My great grandmother died,
Okay.
and she was the only one that I spoke to. My mom would try to continue speaking to me, but I was like, no, like I
No.
only that's only
You,
like
you
with
just
Nona.
wanted to speak English
Yeah.
and be.
So
So it's been in your blood, like in your roots, you know. So I
Yeah.
love that you've been exploring a little piece of every single identity or
Yeah.
background.
Exactly, you know, and
Yeah.
like now, like you know, I think a lot about doing Italian food. I know Italian food's kind of played out in New York. There's a lot of it.
Yeah, but I know, for example, I don't know if you still have it. You have those noodles with I don't know the sauce.
The
It's like
cacio
what is it?
pepe, which
Cacio
is squid.
pepe.
Yeah.
So good, and they're udon noodles.
They're ura noodles.
O sea,
So
with
the
cacio
element-
pepe, it's
Yeah.
like, and it works great.
Yeah.
I love them.
Yeah.
So,
So yeah, then Llama San, it did great. 3 stars New York Times, all the lists, like glowing New York Times review. And I really, Llama San for me was special. Not that Llama Inn wasn't, but like it really was its own thing, right? I feel like, you know, Nikkei has like a playbook, right?
Yeah.
Like you look at through like, when I say playbook, like what is really representative of Nikkei cuisine? You have
Yeah.
these recipes, right?
yeah,
We kind of really created our own thing, like our own version of Nikkei.
okay,
And, you know, and that's allowed because we're in New York,
right.
you know? Like,
Nobody's from here, so everybody's like, yeah, let's just create
as
our own
long as,
version.
as long as there's the connection, right? As long as you
Yes.
have the Peru connection, as long as you have the Japanese connection,
Yeah.
and that marriage is there, you know, and you have New York City as the playing ground, like it kind of transformed into its own thing,
Right.
you know, which was, I think, pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never visited Llama San.
Yeah, well, Llama Inn and Llama San are now both closed.
Yeah.
You know, they did what they were supposed to do. They led to Papa San now, you know,
Yeah.
Hudson Yards, and this is kind of our focus right now.
I love it.
Yeah.
Should we try a second thing?
Yeah.
Wait, you want to talk about this?
Yeah. So this is our burger. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool because you don't typically see a burger
It's not
served
a
like this.
burger, like, yeah.
It's like katsu style, right? And it's really great for sharing. And actually, this just made best burgers in New York City by the New York Times.
It is really good.
And it was never the goal, you know? Like we put on a burger because it was like almost something that we knew we had to put on for the masses, right? For lunch specifically. People know what a burger is, so we did our own version. And now it's become like this amazing burger.
Yeah, I remember when we did the video of
with
the
Eddie
funny
Murphy.
audio. That
Yeah.
was so cool. And it's like, you know, like a homemade burger. So I don't know if that's what you wanted to explore, but yeah.
Hold on. I'm glad you said that because they asked me, I'm going to pull up the email. Where is it? Here it is. They asked me like where does the inspiration come from, right? And I mentioned a few things, right? Like I said, a few layers of inspiration. One would be that it's rooted in nostalgia, right? Because we have a grill, and we started it on the grill, but then we ended up doing it in a pan, right? And like for me, growing up, my mom would make burgers, but she would make them in a pan.
Yeah,
She would
because
sear
you
them in a
don't
pan.
have a grill, I don't know, in a regular household.
Exactly. So that's kind of like, oh, let's just cook it in a pan because, like, you know, that's how we all grew up eating it, right? My chef at the time, we all ate burgers in a pan, so it just made sense. And then I mentioned the Eddie Murphy skit,
Yeah.
right? The Raw Waste, where he's like talking about his mom's burger and the McDonald's burger. And I put exactly like, you know, that video perfectly captured that feeling.
The essence.
You know, that video was like
Your mom telling you, no, don't eat that.
Yeah.
We have food at home.
exactly. I'll make you a burger.
Yeah.
You know, that video like caught that perfectly.
Yeah.
That feeling that we were trying to express was that video, right? And then the element of it being square, right? That comes from White Castle. Remember the White Castle burgers that are square that everybody loved at that time, which made it a lot cooler. And then like it allowed us to cut it this way and serve it this way, where people can share in little bites. It's not like this big ass like messy burger.
Yeah, that you can even put in your mouth.
Yeah.
I hate that. I always ask them to cut it in half.
So that's how that happened.
That's nice. Congrats.
Thank you.
It's really good. Okay, so fast forward, right? We have Papa San now, Hudson Yard since it's been a year, no? Like a
Been 1 year.
It's gonna be a year.
A year in March.
Okay. So it's been like 16 months now.
Yeah, January, February, March, April, May,
Nice.
June. Yeah.
Okay, so Papa San, what's like como the difference from Llama Inn, Llama San? It's like a little bit of everything.
Right. So Papa San is also like in that Nikkei realm. Llama San was a little bit more elevated,
Okay.
right? I would say a little more casual fine dining. Papa San is like a level below. It doesn't mean that Llama San was better. It's just a little more casual, right? It's a little bit more for the masses. It's like what we call it like an izakaya. You know, a place that you get things like this. So you get hot dogs,
Yeah.
you get burgers,
Pizza.
eel pizza, things that are super relatable and that are great for drinking. You wouldn't typically find something like this on Llama San's menu. The dishes were a little more composed, a little more technical. And Llama Inn was like a modern interpretation of Peruvian cuisine. But there was an element of like playfulness. And I think it was also a little bit more casual, right? So that's kind of like, I guess like the casualness of Llama Inn and the playfulness. And like the concept of what Llama San was.
Nikkei.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Papa San was born.
yeah, you know, so it's like, and we call it a Peruvian izakaya. You know, it's a place where everything's shareable. You kind of bring a group of friends or just yourself, and you're drinking and chatting. It's kind of loud, and it's just like it's a fun experience. It's not, you know, it's not too stuffy.
Right. It's not like let's say call it fancy. Or, yeah. So I love what you did actually with the chicken. How you still have it?
No, we took it off the menu now.
Really?
We're always changing the menu.
Yeah, that's good. That's like I guess it keeps it exciting.
Yeah. Well, we have to because
Is
like
it
people get bored.
Let's talk about that. Is it part of like your strategy to keep bringing new customers? Like I'm also very interested in asking, you know, like founders, restaurant owners, chefs, how you keep bringing new customers. Like what are some of the things that you have tried that you know that worked? Can be digital or can be, you know, person.
Right. I think, you know, I think it's really tough to stay relevant in New York, right? Like there's just so much competition, and month by month, week by week, you have new restaurants opening. Obviously, you know, social media is a huge platform. It's like the new age of marketing, right? It's a new age PR. Right, so kind of staying up to date to that and understanding how that works, and I wouldn't say constantly posting, but posting consistently. You know, I think is really helpful. It reaches a lot of people, and I think, you know, changing the menu, right? Like having the same thing on the menu all the time gets boring. You know, you come here once, you come here twice, and you eat the thing, like that's it. Like you're trying to explore something different, right? But if we're always constantly evolving and trying new things, I think it keeps the excitement, it piques the interest, you know. So I think it kind of helps with moving the needle. But it's also challenging and very hard and exhausting, you know, to always change the menu.
Especially like back of the house, like training, the recipes. I don't know.
There's a lot of layers, you know. It's a lot depends on where you are. You know, Hudson Yards is a pretty tough neighborhood, you know, and like we just got to keep
pushing.
You got to keep pushing, right? You got to keep finding ways to bring more people. You got to find ways to be relevant, you know, like try to stay cool.
Yeah, what was the idea with the hot dogs, for example? I think it's a great strategy. You guys are in the street, the busiest street, so
Yeah, so
tell me a little bit about that. And maybe we can show them too, actually.
Yeah. These are the hot
That
dogs.
wasn't planned, but that was a great way to talk about it.
Yeah. So these hot dogs, they're not on our lunch menu. We only offer them on a hot dog cart outside of the restaurant.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if you've seen it, but there's like
I saw it.
Yeah. So that's the only place you get the hot dogs, right? And like we were thinking of like, I mean, what's more New York than a hot dog?
For
right?
real.
And you don't find.
Is this spicy? Like a lot?
With pica. Have this
Pica
one.
mucho? Okay.
Pica.
I'm sorry.
No, it's
I
okay.
don't eat so much spicy.
And they got fun names. That's the Mr. Miyagi,
Okay.
right? That
What it
like,
has?
That has wasabi, mayo, teriyaki sauce, pickles, nori, and fried onions. This is the chow chow, right?
Okay.
Chow chow is a dog, but chow chow is also like a southern condiment,
Okay.
right? Of like fermented pickled vegetables. So we do like, and we make it like Nikkei style. We add like an Asian influence to it. So there's a little mayo, the chow chow, potato chips, and cilantro. It's a little spicy. You should taste it.
Yeah, I'm gonna taste it.
So yeah, you know, we were like, how can we attract more people? How can we bring attention? You know, it was more of like a marketing tool, right? Be outside, engage with the people on the street, talk about the restaurant.
Once they eat one hot dog, they wanna try the whole menu.
Yeah, you know, it's like people that, there's a lot of people that work in this building that still don't know we exist.
That's
that don't
crazy.
know that there's a restaurant downstairs. You know, and like we thought of having a hot dog cart. It's like catching all the people that are walking and just like opening that line of conversation, right? It's like, oh, hot dogs. What's Papa San? What? Like, you know, it just kind of, it was like an opportunity to talk to people in the neighborhood or to talk to people that work here, right?
Yeah.
And that kind
And it's
of,
also like a great meal for like office people, you know, like something fast.
exactly, you know, and like we do our own little takes on it. You know, it's like, it's a hot dog, but there's the Japanese, the Peruvian influence on it. You know, so, and it took off. We're selling like 80 hot dogs a day. It's doing really well. People are super interested in it. So we're going to keep it going. And we're going
For summer, I think it's a good.
We want to find ways where we can bring the cart to events and sell the hot dog, you know?
That's nice.
But we'll see.
Or maybe like the cart inside, you know, like a side table, something.
Yeah, something.
I'm just throwing ideas.
So that's kind of how that all right, let's see.
Yeah, try it. Try it like he didn't make it.
Good.
So let's say that one. I'm gonna try it.
So the hot dogs, we had all the chefs make one.
Oh, and you did like a competition?
Yeah, we had all the chefs make one. I made this one. This one's mine, the Mr. Miyagi. That's actually Jeremy, the executive sous. Sang has one with like kimchi on it.
Cool.
And then we have the plain Dane, which is the plain one. So we all made our own hot dog and we put it on the menu.
It's good.
Yeah, it's good. Pica. Too spicy for you?
No, it's good. I thought it was gonna be more spicy. ¿Tienes ají amarillo? So social media, food traffic, right? Like attracting food traffic, staying relevant, changing the menu. One more thing, just off the top of your mind. What other thing you would say? We got social media, like attracting people in the food, in the street, seasonal menus, staying relevant.
I think there's also like, I don't know, I'm a little biased to this, but like, you know, I think like, you know, working with like a PR, for example, right?
Yeah.
I think that can be helpful to an extent, you know, because they have connections that we may not, and they reach people that we can't, you know? So I think like, but it's also like an expensive proposition, right? Like PR can cost a lot of money, and like smaller places can't do that.
Yeah.
But I think having PR, having PR than not having it is better. It's
better than not having it.
Yeah, it's helpful.
It's helpful.
You know?
For sure. It's especially for new restaurants. You know, you want to be known.
Yeah. But it comes at a cost.
Yeah, and that's why. Well, I don't have a PR agency, but I know they do like 6-month contracts, so it's like not forever. It's just like, let's do it for this time.
Yeah.
But I think it's definitely helpful. Okay, so to finish up, for everyone who's listening, like any entrepreneur, I have a lot of friends that are in this industry, and maybe they want to open their own thing. Actually, I never told you, but in my dream, it's like opening a coffee shop. I would love that, you know, but it's like, oh my God, I really want to open that and be a slave, you know? It's like a con. But for everyone who's listening, they want to do their own business. Doesn't have to be a restaurant. It can be their own, you know, project. I don't know, any advice you will give them based on your experience?
Yeah, you know, I think like there needs to be a love, like a profound love and interest in it. It just can't be like just like an idea you have and you want to explore it and not really understand what it is. Right? There needs to be like cooking, for example.
Yeah.
I feel like you really need to love it to be in it, you know, because it's very like taxing. There's a lot of hours, a lot of work, you know, and like sometimes the negatives outweigh the positives, you know, but I also think like, I don't know, like just like be smart about it, right? If you're going to open your own business, right, really do the due diligence of like, you know, where you're opening it, right? Make sure you have your business plan in place, right? Like
the research part.
Exactly. You know, like really understand what you're getting yourself into, understand what you need to do to be profitable. You know, some people just go into it because they want to do it and then like it works out or it doesn't work out, you know, but I think just having like a good like knowledge before getting into it, like doing your homework will be beneficial in the long run, you know?
Yeah.
I think you'll make better decisions. I don't know, like...
And like the purpose part, right? Like do it because you really love it.
Yeah.
It's like they say, well, I don't know how to say it in English, pero como que haz algo que si no te pagaran, lo seguirías haciendo.
Exacto.
You know? Como que, of course you're going to get paid eventually, but not the first years, they're going to be profitable.
Yeah. You know, because I want to open up a sandwich place.
Okay.
But I know, like, I go back and forth because I know it's a lot of effort for small return. You know, so it's like a passion project, right? It's like, and it's like you gotta find this balance of like, how do you open this place and have it like kind of like do the sandwiches you want to do, but also find like a path that you can produce on like a very large scale and be able to, you know, like, I don't know, it's just like it's just finding the balance.
Yeah.
And knowing that you're gonna have to work a lot.
Yeah.
Right? Like go into it knowing that for the first few years you're gonna have to bust your ass. You know, because that's
you
just how it is.
Everyone, like the owner, but also the person charging people in the beginning and then
especially
making
for small businesses. Like
Yeah. Well, thank you for giving us the advice. Thank you for sharing your story and for opening the doors to Créete Tu Cuento podcast. Any announcements? Anything that you wanna?
Announcements.
The Peruvian.
Oh yes, I got a couple announcements. So we just launched sandwiches downstairs. We have a Sando section for our lunch menu.
Cool.
It was launched on Monday. I think they're pretty cool. The sandwiches are really good.
Well, you see, you put your passion project into Papa San eventually.
Yeah. We have a guest chef coming to cook with us June 26th, Diego Oca from Miami. Pretty excited about that. I think he's I think he's a great Peruvian chef in the United States. I think he's one of the better Peruvian chefs in the United States. You know, been around for a very long time, and I really respect what he does. And I've been looking forward to cooking with him for quite a while. So it's finally happening. Peruvian Independence Day. That's going to be a party. We're going to do something here. I've invited 10 Peruvian chefs from New York City to come cook here. So we're going to have little stations. It's going to be a ticketed event during the day, and it's going to be a party on a Sunday.
Love it.
Yeah.
I'll leave all the information in the description of the video. But thank you, Chef Erik, for having me. And we didn't eat the pizza, but
yeah, let's have
let's have a slice for the final part.
So this is the eel pizza.
Yeah.
This has been on the menu since day one. It's become the staple of Papa San. Also another good example of like offering something that people know, like pizza. New Yorkers know what pizza is, but doing our little spin on it. It's an eel pizza.
A great spin on it.
Yeah, with like a barbecue eel. Let's see.
I love this.
It's good. Go Knicks.
Go Knicks. Thank you.